It was a war that was going to be over by Christmas in 1914. It wasn't. Then they dug in, of course. Many more New Zealanders came, but they were just very ordinary young kids, 18, 19, 20, 23, 24 sort of thing, who came to this part of the world and then got caught up in this appalling war when just millions were killed. And the fact they came out the other end and were able to tell those stories, we've got to make sure those stories are handed on down through the next generations. After all, we're talking about my grandparents' generation who were here then. But the grandchildren, my grandchildren, they're the ones who've got to carry the story on, not me or our generation.
The local inhabitants, the French, had always anticipated that eventually, after 4 years of German occupation, they would be relieved and liberated by the British. So it was somewhat of a surprise to find that these people had come from the other side of the world, right, to liberate their town, and it's one of the reasons why they've never forgotten. But the other reason why they've never forgotten is that on that day, not one civilian was killed in this town. But the division in taking the town and surrounding it on that morning cost us 500 casualties, 135 dead. And so we took the brunt of the operation.
And seeing some guys, a 21-year-old who had died on the November the 4th, and he had enlisted before Gallipoli, meaning that he was 17. At the time of his enlistment and his death at Lakimwa, and that really hit me, so I left my poppy for him. Just being able to be here and be where their graves are. I've been to dawn services and stuff in New Zealand, but actually being here and being able to say thank you for your contribution, thank you for your sacrifice. People my age will have no idea, my generation will have no clue what courage it took to give that sacrifice.
I'm going to cry. I still know this quiet man. I must admit I had wound around my little finger.
It's always what a daughter should do.
Yes, you know, who would do anything for me, and what he must have been through for us, you know. So New Zealand's a little country at the far end of the world, but we know we've done a lot for the world. The memorials have lasted 100 years now. And we're getting more and more generations away. We need something that is going to make sure that these memorials and this memory lasts for another 100 and maybe even more years.
Well, every year so many thousand young Kiwis come to Europe, come to the Western Front to try and find where their forebears served, fought, and sadly in some cases died. And so we don't have a museum. So many other countries do. The Canadians, the South Africans, the Australians are building a big one. And it'd be wonderful to have a place, a museum here at this unique historic town in France that the Kiwi soldiers alone saved.
If we get what we're trying to achieve here and have established a place for New Zealanders in Europe that relates to all those who lost their lives and gave service in 2 world wars, a significant place they can come to and look at the history, feel the history all around them, that to me is worthwhile. And then that will run into education programs that I would think you'll have as many young people wanting to come here as maybe go to Gallipoli or have been going to Gallipoli in recent years.
I know for me personally, I've been brought up to always respect my elders and to always remember what they have done for me, and that's just another example. So coming back here, like definitely obviously bringing my family to France would be a treat in itself, but coming back here to show them that at the end of the day we're living the way we live because of the sacrifice that other people made in the past, I'd definitely be willing to come back and show them that. You know.
Et on en est reconnaissant aux Néo-Zélandais parce que on sait qu'à l'époque ils ont voulu préserver le site et on en est reconnaissant parce qu'aujourd'hui notre ville est candidate pour le classement à l'UNESCO. Le musée, le projet de musée, c'est une chance pour la ville. Je pense que cette spécificité, ce lien qu'on a, il est très original, bien sûr. Et le fait que ce soit toujours le Quesnoy, la référence pour la Nouvelle-Zélande, c'est quelque chose, c'est une richesse qu'on va pouvoir cultiver davantage. Et je suis absolument convaincue que ça peut être un élément important pour le développement économique et touristique de cette ville et d'un plus large territoire. Donc le fait d'avoir un équipement et puis des logements aussi pour loger des Néo-Zélandais, eh bien je pense que ça va ouvrir la voie à un nouveau développement culturel.
A lot of people say, "What is New Zealand?" But they can to say, "Oh yes, it is a country." So it is very good to build a museum.